Stuttering John had, I didn't even know about this, was setting up Jackie for a scam.
I knew something was going on.
Yeah. Do you know about this? Hey, Stuttering John, come on in here. Ganji, come in here.
I caught Ganji there with the camera. I didn't know.
Jackie had a gig. Where was your gig this weekend?
My father's place.
My father's place in Queens. What was the scam you were running on, Jackie?
The scam was I got there early, and I went to the crowd and told everybody not to laugh the first 10, 15 minutes of Jackie's act. And by the end of the act...
So the whole thing about them owing you money was live from the very beginning?
Well, no, but I just knew that could be my guys in case you caught me there.
Listen to this. So all they got to do is stay out of Jackie's way to do this, okay? Right. So Jackie walks into the club, sees Stuttering John in the bathroom immediately.
He was the first person I saw. But that did make total sense to me.
Yeah, because I was supposed to be there anyway.
Saying, she owes me my money, get my money.
Right.
And then I called him, said I might be there, so I was supposed to be there anyway. That was no problem.
All right, so you were there.
So I wasn't surprised.
And Ganji, you're supposed to be working a hidden camera, right?
Yeah.
And why does Jackie find you in 13 seconds?
No, but he was very sneaky. He had his back to me.
Oh.
You couldn't tell it.
Ganji, do you lose at everything you do? I mean, are you totally lazy at everything?
Let me explain for 2 seconds.
Yeah, explain.
The club was very open. There's not much room to hide. I tried to hide in a room. They wouldn't let me stay in the room because they said it was busy or something like that.
Right.
So it's a very open club. So
why don't you wait in your car till Jackie goes on?
Because John showed up really late and I had to set this whole thing up. That's why.
I was.
John, you were there 2 seconds.
I was there 10 to 9. Jackie doesn't get on till what? 9:45.
Right, but we agreed to meet at 8 and set it up. So at 8:45, I went out into the club to set up.
Yeah. So what happened? Jackie walks in the club.
So I'm trying to hide, and as Jackie's walking around the club, because you figure Jackie's going to go to a room and just hang out, but Jackie's walking around the club. So as he's walking around the club, I'm walking.
I was at the sound booth, and I looked, and I saw Ganji across the way. I saw him with his back to me. I mean, I was kind of...
You're going to recognize the guy.
In my mind,
I mean, that's something. What did you do? What did you do? You got the whole audience in on it?
The whole audience ready to just yell for the money back after 10 minutes of not laughing and have Jackie, I figured, come on, you know.
So Jackie called Ganji and said, hey, man, don't mess with my gig.
Don't mess with my career. Don't mess with my livelihood.
Don't mess with my livelihood.
Oh. No, I was pissed off because it was going to be a horrible gig.
How come you have no problem messing with my livelihood?
Because that was you.
Exactly. Jackie gets a little upset, but in the meantime, he has no problem, taking up hidden cameras for when I go out.
No.
Stealing puppets and hidden
cameras.
How
is that related?
He sees it as a different thing.
He really laid into it. Like, I was scared.
What did he say to you?
Oh, he really... What, did he get red?
Not physically.
No. I got
you know what it was? I knew that once I got on stage, it's not like I could leave the stage and come over and ask him to go away. So if I didn't try and get him to go away right then and there,
you were in trouble.
I was in trouble.
Right.
And to tell you the truth, it's a weird club. It's going to be hard enough on a Friday night with 250 drunken bums. They really didn't need to be inspired to be any worse. So I wasn't looking, and I wanted to do it. I know, and I wasn't.
You guys are such retards. You had the whole thing lined up. It's a great scam.
Howard, it was all set up perfectly.
And there are a million places to hide.
There's so many nooks and crannies.
You are so lame.
I was hiding.
Did you hear what Jackie just said? There's a million places to hide in that club.
I was
John,
hiding.
What do you mean? What are you saying? There is a million places to hide?
Yes, there is.
So what's wrong with him?
Because when I got back, it was so perfectly set up. I got back all psyched to hear what happened. Kenji goes, he found me. It's
How
over.
did he find you? Why didn't you hide?
I was hiding in a corner. Where was you?
Howard,
where else could he have hidden?
Hold on.
Soundboard.
Hold on, Howard.
Standing by the soundboard.
Wait a minute.
You stood by the soundboard?
Yes, you were.
No, hold on. Let me explain. Not only...
You weren't even there.
This is a club.
I left to make a look.
Guys.
Ganji, what is your story?
It's unbelievable.
It wasn't my story. I was hiding in the opposite end of the club in a corner where he couldn't see me.
Howard, he saw you. You're at the soundboard.
Listen to me.
Walking around. I'm trying to freaking hide from a guy who's kept walking around the You kept walking.
You know what annihilate?
Yeah.
There are a million tables. There's a stage. There's back rooms. There's ticket booths. There's the bar. There's 2 bathrooms. There's behind the bar. And I'm standing here, and here's all the tables. And there's an open aisle.
Yeah.
I'm at the soundboard. There's an aisle, and Ganji's at the other end of the aisle with his back to me.
Oh, boy.
With his very back of his head. How are you going to miss it?
Way to hide, Ganji.
Underneath the table he could have hid.
And standing there with
a camera. You could never recognize that haircut. You know what I mean?
It's not like
if he had had a hat on, I would have never known in a million years.
And standing there with a camera.
With a camera. with his back to me. No, he's like this. He's like this.
Man.
He is pathetic. Don't send. You know what I mean? Don't. I told you he's the wrong guy for that job. You can't even work a camera.
And I did go ballistic on him. I admit that. But like I say, that was my only shot.
Right.
Oh God, you didn't get that, Ganji?
How soon did he break down and say why he was there?
No. I went off before he really had a chance to say too much. I didn't say go away, and he went, I'll leave. He was like, he was pretty forceful, like he wasn't going anywhere. He was like, he was a nudge, like he was going to stay no matter what. But I laid guilt into him.
If you're going to do a hidden camera thing, you got to hide.
And Scott's guy, the other guy, was standing right next to him. So if there was any doubt...
Why would you stand right in the aisle?
It's not the aisle. You have to understand what the place looks like.
No, you hide in a room.
You don't want somebody to go there with a camera and show him where you were standing.
Do me a favor. Get a shot of where he was standing.
Helen Keller would have seen
in the club.
Really? I mean, Jackie's the performer, and he saw you.
I don't even have decent eyesight, and I'm thinking of a million things before I go on.
You're not even concentrating.
I'm not looking for Ganji, and there was every reason for John to be there. I was never suspicious for a second.
Eyewitness on the phone. He can tell you exactly what was going on.
Hi, you're on the air.
Ray Charles.
Hi.
Howard.
Yeah.
I was at the gig. While Jackie, we were sitting right in front of the soundboard. While Jackie was standing there, we were looking right at him. Ganji was standing in the middle of the club with a camera in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, you're like a retard.
No.
You're a big fat retard.
I was going around.
You are the worst cameraman. You cannot even... Where's that 10-year-old kid? He could have pulled it off.
The reason I was
Why do you go through all the hassle?
Was because John didn't show up, and I had to tell everybody
so
what the plan was.
What do you have to hide for? Just hide. Just hide.
But who was going to tell the people?
He told the people.
He showed up.
You know what, Howard? You are picking at straws. I was there 15 minutes before Jackie got there. I made sure everybody in that freaking club. And the guy, are you still on the phone?
Yeah.
Did I tell you?
Yeah.
I told you, don't laugh, right?
John came over to our table.
You told one table.
I told the whole club, James.
I guarantee if somebody else in this
But
club...
even if you did tell everyone, why would you stand at the aisle where Jackie can see you?
I was standing at the other side of the club.
Why
Jackie
would you be
was over
in the
there.
club? Why would you
I was on the
disappear?
other side behind.
This isn't Madison Square Garden, Howard. This is not
it's a tiny little club.
Not the length of the hall here.
And when you see Jackie come in, why wouldn't you disappear?
Of course.
Only one.
I would head for the hills.
Yeah.
Jackie's going to recognize you.
When Jackie went to the bathroom, that's where I was.
Yeah.
Ganji had now 45 minutes to go hide because me and Jackie stayed in the bathroom for like 10 minutes talking. He could have went anywhere in the club to hide.
But he doesn't even think to hide because he's lazy. You're lazy.
To hide.
2 words for you. Lazy.
In fact, when I saw him at the other end, I think he was standing right in front of the door. I think there's actually a room right there.
And I hid in there for 2 seconds, and they kicked me out. They said, no, you cannot stay in here.
So then
I said, listen, I have to hide because Jackie's going to see me. This is the only room I can hide in.
Thank you, Ganji, for the good scam.
How can I say one thing? I have done many a practical joke, and this is the first one that got screwed up.
Because he just stood there. All he has to do is walk out the parking lot and wait till Jackie goes on. Seriously, what's so difficult? You gotta meet the espionage of the thing. It's a fun night. You are lazy. You stand at the bar with that camera.
I wasn't
standing
in the bar with the camera.
Jackie just said he saw you standing there with a camera.
So I went wild on him, but in other words, he just by me seeing him, he had blown it already.
Right.
But you know what? When Jackie was going wild, Ganji didn't even get that.
No. You wouldn't think to turn on the camera and get it, right? Of course not. Because why? Let's hear the excuse now.
I'm glad he doesn't have it because I went wild.
That would have been great.
That would have been great. And I said,
even turn on the audio. Anything.
Well, you got to turn the whole camera. But
turn on the whole camera.
The camera was down. I would have had to,
So what?
I had to reach.
It was in his hand, but he can't figure out how to turn it on.
He couldn't hit the button so you could hear Jackie
You would have seen me reaching for it. I mean, at that point,
all right, thank you, Ganji. Ganji, thank you again. Good job. Good job.
You have no excuse.
Nice job.
I do, too. This was John's fault. Tell him. The plan was 8 o'clock, but it was 10 to 9.
It's John's fault. It's Jackie's fault.
No.
You know what?
10 to 9, John. 8 o'clock.
You didn't need me to do the scam. You did not need me to do the scam. You knew what to do. You did not need me there anyway. But I still got there. Ganji, I still got there. Listen, I still got there 50 minutes earlier than Jackie was there. I set the whole thing up. It's irrelevant. No, I got a 8:45.
You walk in, you go to the first table. Ganji, what's
every table?
I said, hey, I told everybody
every table. I went to every table.
You go to the one table.
How is it irrelevant?
And you go, all right, guys, you understand what's going on?
Let's say he never showed up. Let's say he never showed up.
Right.
How come you still couldn't pull it off? That's what he's saying.
I was in there. That's what I was doing when he showed up.
But you got caught by Jackie.
No, he got caught.
Howard. The key point is Ganji didn't get caught set it up. The thing was set up. He got caught a half an hour later.
Right.
Standing around.
It was already set up.
It's irrelevant. It was all set up.
It was all set up. So even though he was late, it was all set up.
The game was afoot.
All you had to do was hide.
It comes down to one word.
Yeah.
He's lazy.
He is. He is so lazy.
Why would I be lazy to hide?
Because
That's
you
so
are.
stupid.
You want people
That's
to see
so
you or
stupid.
something. I don't know what it is. You're lazy.
You probably were angry that you had to be there working. That's what it was. So you decided to blow it.
That's right.
Full view of the whole club with the lights were still on in the club, and he had a camera in his hand.
Oh my God!
He was under a spotlight.
I'm telling you.
I was setting
How
everything
did
up.
he wear his side? Jackie noticed.
You know what? Now I'm going to really screw you. Get a load of this.
Go ahead.
Get a load of this. Right? Jackie's not even there yet.
Right.
What is Ganji doing in the middle of the club?
What?
White balancing. Has the light on to a big white piece of paper, white balancing.
He is a retard.
There was no light on. There was no light on.
You were
There was
white
no
balancing.
light.
Were you not white balancing? Be honest.
Yes. I had to set up the camera so I could see
In the middle of the club.
And the guy can walk in. And the guy can walk in any minute.
He's white balancing in the middle of the club.
That's so funny. You have to do it where it'll freaking pick up something, not later when Jackie's on the stage already.
Yeah.
Is it not an opening act for Jackie? Is it not an opening act for Jackie?
Yeah,
Why not white balancing? Jackie's in the back, and there's an opening act.
Yeah, as Jackie's standing in the back with
in the back.
opening act.
There's a back room, you idiot. There's a whole
You
dressing
can white
room.
balance anywhere, Ganji. You don't have to white balance right there. You can white balance anywhere.
You know what, Ganji? You got white balance. We got nothing else.
You know what it is? Ganji wants to be seen by girls, I think, that he carries a camera. You are pathetic. If I'm on a subterfuge, if I'm on a mission, I pretend I'm in the jungle. I'm hiding from the guy.
Hey, how come the whole Gary thing worked and John wasn't involved in that at all? That was perfect.
Did you shoot that?
You didn't even know. You marred till that night.
Because I was involved in the Gary scam. I set it up.
Wait a second.
I left this. I didn't know about this one. If I knew, it would have worked.
There you go.
I was at the Gary Pepper thing. I went to the place and stole it.
No, he's talking about the learning annex thing.
Everything the other night.
Did he do the camera work?
Oh, Ganji did.
No, Ganji didn't do the camera
Of course
work.
not. That's why it worked. If Ganji had done the camera, he would have been standing up in the middle of the room
I
with
guarantee
Gary.
you one thing, Harry. If I had any of the guys from me, Doug, Eric, this thing would have not even been screwed up.
Right.
I know it as a fact.
So then why'd you ask Ganji to do it?
I asked Doug, but they sent Ganji.
No, Ganji is not to be sent anymore.
Good. Ganji won't be sent to any of these.
No, only just Ganji does the taping here, where I can watch him.
Anything that revolves around John, I don't want to be.
Whatever. See, that's a loser.
But we don't want you there.
No, because I don't want to. Anything that revolves around you.
Because you screwed up. You screwed up.
No,
Admit you
John,
screwed up.
You screwed up.
I'm hearing the whole story.
Show up at 8 o'clock and this would have worked fine.
No,
show up at
you
9.
your fat ass would have still been caught standing around with the camera in your hand.
Show up at 9.
No matter when I was there, because you screwed up, because
Why did you just show up after?
You sucked.
Why did you show up after?
Ganji, ask the guy on the phone. I had plenty of time to talk to everybody.
Sir, did John speak to everyone there?
As far as I could tell.
And did John get away with speaking to everyone?
Such a liar.
Excuse me, did John get away with speaking to everyone in the club before Jackie showed up?
I think so, Howard.
Okay.
I swear on my mother's life, I talked to every table in that club before Jackie showed up. I swear on my mother's life.
Why were you?
My mother's life.
John was going around.
But you were talking to people in the club. Why were you hiding?
Sure, I did too.
Well,
with
why
all
were
the
you
interns who were there
at the time
All
that
right, very
Jackie
good.
came in?
All right.
Why were you there?
What?
Why were you standing there
when Jackie came in?
Why were you standing in the club when Jackie was there?
It was all set up.
He doesn't have an answer.
No, John, who I will have a bone to pick with, by the way,
right.
also spent 10 minutes or 15 minutes before it went on talking to me. We were screaming and bitching and yelling out in front of the club. Like, that was 15 minutes that I would have been walking around looking,
making sure.
And I said I got to go back in because the opening act is probably almost done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he kept you busy.
Guess what? Whose idea was it to go talk outside? Jackie?
Maybe yours.
It was mine. You know why? I figured I'd bring him outside. Gage's got plenty of time to now, hide and get everything set.
He can't hide. He sits there.
I pulled him aside. I pulled
He's
him
like a
outside.
turtle.
Yeah, I pulled him a chair. I had a beer. I hung out.
How could you stand in a club? Once the lights go down, then he can't see you.
He also had a director's chair.
He was also standing in like the most brightly lit area.
Was he really? I mean, you were standing there going,
such a
sir, were you
liar.
standing there?
Across from the stage. Right
Really?
in the aisle that went straight across. He was right there with the camera. My friend even said, is that the kind of camera they use for the E-show? It just looked like a little regular camcorder.
Did you bring the little camcorder?
Yeah.
Dude, just bring a regular camera.
That was not up to me.
Oh, I know, isn't it embarrassing? That's what we use on the E! Show. That's some budget I got over there.
But Howard, the point is that camera's
balancing that.
And he's white balancing that. He couldn't white balance it anywhere else. He had a white balance in the middle of the club.
That's going to be great.
Because he's hoping some girls see him with the camera.
But Howard, the point is that camera's even smaller. It's a small camera. Okay.
How could Jackie see it? I know. He couldn't hide somewhere.
And he still couldn't hit the button.
Hide in your car. Hide in your car and say, someone tell me when Jackie's going on.
And Howard, just
use your brain.
Just to defend myself for a second.
The opening act.
You have defended yourself.
I had the whole bill. I had a gig that night, but I still went there first.
Don't you understand? Any monkey could have stood there with a camera. He has to stand in the middle of the club. Sir, he was clearly visible to everyone.
Why do you believe the guy on the phone and not me?
I believe Jackie's telling me he saw you.
I was trying to hide on the opposite side of the room. Where
it's a tiny room.
Why were you standing up? Why not sit down?
John, John, if John's standing over there, and I'm standing here, it's an aisle.
That's it.
He's there with his back to me. There's chairs, there's tables there, there's bars,
but it's an aisle.
Ticket booths.
He could have sat down on the floor.
Standing at the end of a bowling alley. You might as well be a pin waving.
Yes.
You are so sluggish and stupid.
You know what? I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
You are dumb.
I'm not listening.
Well, you should listen because maybe you'll learn something.
I'm not listening.
All right. Thank you, Ganji. Another job well done.
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. I know how to hide.
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. I saw them. I didn't even know what they were going to do. I didn't even ask about the scam, but I saw a couple of shenanigans going on in the hall, and I was surprised they didn't blow it before they left here.
Yep. Good work, Ganji. Jackie's not going to see you.
I'm the retard who shows up on time. I'm the retard who sets it up.
Yeah, but you were caught.
Let me tell you that everyone was screaming down the hall all morning. We'll see you at Jackie's tonight.
But even still,
everybody.
even if Jackie caught you, he shouldn't find your camera, that little dumb camera. You should have hit the camera and just said, hey, Jackie, I came down to see the show. I'm meeting Jen here or something. You make up some excuse.
But none of you know how to keep a secret and hide.
Right. What is it, Papa Boo? Hide?
There's a guy on the phone in the office who said that, Ganji had this whole thing set up, but they said it was standing under, like, the lights, and you could see the camera and everything. And then Ganji started passing notes to all the tables that said the joke on Jackie is off.
That's right, Howie. Yeah, we got that too.
No, once that was after Jackie laid into me and stuff. That was.
A note came around that we had to pass on for the next.
Oh, just leave. Did you get a note, sir?
Yes, we did.
You did.
It said the joke on Jackie is off. Pass it on.
Well, that's because the opening act was already on. So
I was going to ask, because if they told everybody not to do that, it seemed like it went like a regular show, so... Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Well,
I was wondering if there was...
Well, Ganji passed notes.
Because the opening act was already on.
You didn't even turn your camera on so you could pick up the sound of Jackie yelling.
Yeah, I would have loved to have heard that. That would have been great.
You know why? You're slow.
No.
You're slow. You don't think fast. You don't think on your feet. When do you get those things? When have you ever gotten
Now's the time. You should have got that.
That was
you
the one time
can get them in the hall here because you think everybody's giving you permission.
And I'm up on stage the whole time thinking that I kicked him out. I'm hoping he left, but I don't know if he left. But I'm assuming that just like with Gary,
when I
there's a camera set up behind the piano or something in addition.
When I send out this stuttering John to do an interview, and there's 5 security guys throwing him out, he leaves the recorder on.
Yeah.
If Jackie's yelling at you, what are you, so pussy-whipped you can't just leave the camera going?
No, well, I didn't have it on to begin with, so I
flick it on. It's a little switch.
Right, I had to read
He's so
Howard, it would have
relaxed
been good,
that the
too, because
camera's
Jackie was visibly upset.
Of course it would have been good.
But he's so relaxed, the camera's now slung over his arm on a strap.
Howard,
Gary, would you stop coming in here?
If I could tell you how great it was, Jackie was outside, like, upset. It would have been perfect. He would have cried.
Right.
You know what? We got to tie this up, Howard. We got an Asian woman sitting in the office.
You guys get out of here. All right, goodbye. All right, thanks, sir.
Okay.
Bye,
Howard.
I got an Asian woman waiting to get naked
I would enjoy this a lot more.
Yeah. All right, very good, Ganji. You'd be very proud of yourself. That would have been a nice piece of tape.
Those two are getting along very well.
Yeah. Real talent. Dopes. Can you believe it?
It really would have been so easy for him to pull. I was very lucky.
Hide.
But he had a better piece of tape, and he didn't get that.
I really went wild. I was sure he had that on tape.
All right.